This video is proudly sponsored by Gamersgate. Download games anytime, anywhere. Visit Gamersgate.com.
Welcome to Elder Geeks Elder Speak. Today is Tuesday, May 1st, 2012. My name is Randy Yasenchak. I'm the owner and editor of ElderGeek.com. Welcome to another episode of Elder Speak. I would like to say that I'm actually having a pretty bad day today because I'm on this roll where I'm just breaking, or I shouldn't even say that I'm breaking them. My things are breaking one at a time, and they're always my tech things. My headphones cable died. My video card died not too long ago, and I just replaced that. The receiver for my Xbox 360 controller to my PC died not too long ago, and now today, the latest in my string of just electronic shit just failing on me here, my PS3 got the yellow light of death. So I'm not in an entirely great mood today, so as you can tell, I mean, if I could just buy replacements for all these things, that would be great, but, I mean, I've got a kid on the way here. I can't afford this kind of stuff anymore. I just replaced the video card. I mean, that was expensive enough as it was, but now I gotta possibly think about replacing my PS3, so, I don't know, what are you guys' thoughts? That is actually one of the biggest things that has really driven me nuts about this generation of consoles, is that they, for the most part, have no shelf life whatsoever. Compared to the older consoles, they just don't. I'm happy to say that this particular, PS3 was a launch PS3, but I'm just really could have had this not happen today, I guess. Anyway, so that's that. What number of PS3/360 are you guys on right now? I'm lucky that my 360 has not red ringed yet. I'm the only person that I know that has a 360 that hasn't had it red ringed yet, and I count myself lucky in that regard. But getting into the news, actually before I get into the news, in the background today you're going to be seeing more gameplay footage from me playing Mount and Blade Warband Napoleonic Wars, and I got a little bit better. I can't say that I got good at the game. I still suck out loud at it. But in the background, you'll actually see a round where I don't die, and I'm actually just proud of the fact that I didn't die. And my wife was kind of laughing at me as I was playing it. I was like, honey, this is terrible. I'm doing terribly at this game, and I can't hit anybody. But I didn't shoot anybody, but I also didn't die, so it was a minor victory for me. In the news today, I talked about this a little bit yesterday, but the big Skyrim reveal is basically that the DLC is going to be called Dawnguard, and that it's going to be out this summer. It's going to be coming out this summer. It's going to be out for the Xbox 360 exclusively first, but it appears that the PS3 and the PC version come out 30 days afterwards. Now, apparently the second DLC is also going to do that exact same thing, where Microsoft gets the exclusive 30-day DLC expansion window, which I think is just crap. I'm really tired of those this generation. It's not like the entire game came out first. Just the DLC is coming out first on 360, and it's like, come on. We all have the game. We're not gonna suddenly stop and then go buy another different copy for the 360 just to play the DLC 30 days early. I don't think anybody out there is that desperate, and if they do, they have too much money to burn. So anyway, that's that. The DLC is going to be called Dawnguard. Bethesda's coming forward and saying that it's actually a very sizable DLC, so that's actually nice. Just for us PS3, well, I guess in my case, former PS3 owners. PS3 owners and PC players like myself will just have to wait a little bit longer. So there you have that. It turns out that the CEO of Sega has stepped down. Mike Hayes is leaving as the leader of Sega. What is going to be happening to Sega from here on? Well, I'm sure they're going to be replacing it, but that's kind of big news for a company like Sega. Sega, who is, for lack of a better way to put it, they have just been struggling to stay above water these past 10 years, and I don't know. I wish for better things to come for Sega in the near future. This actually came after I released that PDF a couple of weeks ago that showed how many games that Sega was going to be chopping from their lineup, and they were basically going to be keeping with the Total War series, which is obviously a really good idea. But then they're also going to be keeping with the Sonic series, which is the dumbest thing I could possibly read. Nobody buys Sonic anymore. I mean, people, of course people do buy Sonic, but nobody plays Sonic and says, hey, this is a great game. We all know that it's been crap since basically the Sega Genesis. So that, I mean, I really wish that Sega would just stop trying to repackage Sonic for us. I don't care that he's in 3D now. Sonic was really only good in 2D, and you can't change my mind on that. He didn't make the transition to 3D as cleanly as Mario did. So, more crushing news, I suppose, for Sega. Let's see. Oh, this is actually a big one. I kind of meant to open this one off. But there has been a reveal trailer for Call of Duty Black Ops 2, which is going to be set in the future. I believe the year 2025 was the number that I saw in the video. Yes, that's right, 2025. And they have this... I'll put a link to the trailer in the video, but the video basically boils down to there's an old man sitting in a chair, and he's telling this vague, non-detailed story about how... that humanity has become super technologically advanced in the next 12 years, basically, and created a gigantic army of unarmed, not just vehicles or aerial vehicles, but also ground vehicles and like walkers and mechs and stuff like that. I'm all for the mech walkers and everything like that, but I think 2025 is a little too soon. Like, actually, physically, like, I think chronologically, I think that's too early to predict something like that. But and basically he says, "Oh, what happens when the bad guys get the keys to your unmanned army?" Sounds like a really cheesy plot, but at least Call of Duty is trying to do something a little bit different. It's like Call of Duty Black Ops mixed with Call of Duty 2142. So CODBLOPS 2 is going to be hitting November of this year. People obviously aren't going to be needing to wait that long. November 13th, actually. And maybe I'll rent it. I don't know. After Call of Duty 5, I think, you know, we were actually knee deep in making the Call of Duty retrospective series, and we realized that it was kind of a losing battle. That if they kept putting out these yearly releases, we were all kind of expecting them to stop. But when we started doing the Call of Duty retrospective, but they kept putting out these yearly releases, and they just kept getting crappier and crappier. We actually had a plan at one point where we were just going to do 2 more episodes where we would talk about up to Call of Duty 4, and then do one final episode that was, I don't know, that was almost going to be a giant editorialism of saying like, oh, and then every year they've just been cranking out basically the same game ever since. But I don't know, that would have been a little bit too bitter for Elder Geek's tastes. So there you have it, CODBLOPS 2 coming out this November. And final bit of news, it turns out that Geohot, the guy who hacked PS3, he met with Sony after their trial actually had ended. There were no lawyers or anything present. He actually just met with them. He said that it was actually a very cordial and professional kind of meeting, and basically they wanted to learn from him how he did it. And I think they should have done that from the first place. I mean, yes, I think that they should have legally tried to stop other people from hacking it, but I don't know, when somebody hacks your seemingly unhackable service, first thing you want to probably do is pick his brain, right? So, anyway, that's that. That's the news for today. Not a whole lot, but you know, the Skyrim news is kind of big. They're basically saying that with the Skyrim news that they're going to be having more come out at E3. Now, this announcement kind of bothers me a little bit because just yesterday I made the announcement on the show saying, hey, Bethesda's going to be doing this big reveal tomorrow with the Skyrim DLC, and their big reveal was that they're going to be doing a big reveal at E3. So they announced an announcement. I made an announcement that their announcement was going to make an announcement for an announcement coming out at E3. And so in that regard, it's like, all right, let's cool it here a little bit. Why don't we just start doing press releases and news releases that are actually news and actually substantive? I get it that they're trying to spin people up and get people excited again for Skyrim, and they don't want people to forget about Skyrim, but the reality is nobody has forgotten about Skyrim. It is just a gigantically successful game. So I would think that if they just said and sent out a press release saying, hey, Skyrim DLC is coming out next week, it will probably sell just as well as if they spun up all this media attention ahead of time. I don't know, I could be wrong though. Probably am. But the CODBLOPS 2 trailer, what are your thoughts on it? My thoughts are, hey, this might be kind of neat to play multiplayer again, kind of like... I was a huge fan of Battlefield 2142. Gigantic fan of Battlefield 2142. And the biggest reason why I kind of stopped playing it was because the cheaters were just... Literally, the cheaters were just running rampant on almost all of the servers there. So, so I stopped playing that. But, I don't know, the concept of getting back into a multiplayer shooter where there might be nice mech walkers along with being able to be foot infantry and piloting and all that kind of fun stuff is a really cool concept to me, but at the same time, I am almost done completely with the Call of Duty series. Personally and almost professionally, too. I mean, we actually had a couple of people ask us why we didn't do a video review for Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, but, you know, there were so many other games that came out at that time of the year. Why would we waste our time on a Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 video review when everybody knows exactly what the game is going to be about? You know, they know exactly how the gameplay is. Might be slightly better graphics, might be slightly better, you know, stages and everything like that, but it's literally almost the exact same game. Not saying that as a knock to the series, because if you enjoy it, you get more of it. But there's no reason to keep reviewing that same product over and over and over again. But I don't know. That's me. I could be a little bitter. Like I said, my PS3 broke today. But anyway, thanks for tuning in, everybody. Thanks for listening. Going to be having some guests on the show soon. So if you guys are some of you out there that are actually kind of hoping for a little bit of a longer Elder Speak episodes, those will probably be coming later on in the week. Honestly, like I said, that should about wrap it up. Thanks for all the new subs that we've actually been getting on Facebook. Thanks for the people that were sending a couple of messages on Facebook. Thanks. Keep the questions going on. We'll do a viewer mail show again sometime soon. If you have any comments or questions that you would like to be read on the show, or discussions that you would like to have with everybody else on the show, you can send them to info@elder-geek.com. You can also follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and here on YouTube, with all of those names with /eldergeek.com at the end of it. Thanks so much, everybody, and I will talk to you all tomorrow.